Hey there, Devin here. It is Saturday, March. I don't even know what month it is. March 28th. We are 10 days into being at home from COVID. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I capture thoughts and things that pop into my head during COVID. Not going to go negative with it because I don't see a point. I thought just interesting, funny stuff and things that pop into my mind since I have a lot of time off. So to catch up real quick, in the last 10 days, we came home from Dominican on the 9th of March, and by the 13th, which was Friday, interestingly enough, suddenly everything had blown up and they were talking on quarantining and people were saying you got to go home. It got a little wild, and by Monday morning, gyms all over the place were closing, and I held out a little bit because I wasn't sure what I should do, and there was no directive from the government, and I thought, you know what, I want to wait for the government to make that decision. Government made the decision and said on Wednesday you got to close. Actually, they said Thursday at midnight, but once they said you have to close, I said, well, okay, well, that's obviously they know what they're talking about, so we closed, which was a really super weird day. It was, it was strange and uncomfortable for me. I mean, I'm almost 10 years into to owning the gym, and I've been working for myself for a long time, since 2007. So it was a weird experience. It felt really weird. I worried for my staff because, I mean, they're contractors, and I didn't know how that would, affect them. How would they survive? How would I survive? And right at the same time, of course, Dev had to close her business too, because they weren't just mandating. Hendrix wants to come over and say hi. Say hi, Hendrix. There he is. They didn't just mandate gyms; they mandated like barbershops and salons and stuff. So we both were suddenly out of work all at once, which was weird. And then by Thursday we were home. I mean, I spent a couple days that Bobby and I spent disinfecting the gym and stuff like that. But I mean, basically we've been home since. So that's a little bit weird. It's to be home and not have a heck of a lot to do for either me or Dev. I'm sure I drove her nuts, especially in the first 4 or 5 days, because I don't do well sitting home by myself. I get bored fast, and I don't really love television. So sitting around watching TV all day, that did not really appeal much to me. Anyway, so that we are now 10 days in, and I think things are starting to even out, and people are starting to understand what they have to do and what they don't have to do. So I wanted to I've been telling my kids they should journal, or they should take videos or whatever about this, because they may never see this again in their lifetime. And this is one of those, where were you when? We have 9/11. Where were you when 9/11 happened? Where were you when the '08 stock market crashed? People remember that stuff. So what would be interesting would be, to capture what's going on in your mind, in your head, for later. So, for my kids, for all of them, and for their kids, and everything else, if they decide to have children, you have grandkids, that they can look back on that and say, hey, this is what was going on. So that's my thought. I don't want to go super negative with it, obviously. Like, I don't want to get on here and complain about things. That's not my intention. Funny things that have popped into my mind. There was a tweet. Apparently, Donald Trump reached out to A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, to ask his opinion on COVID. Alex Rodriguez is a baseball player. And he's married to a
J-Lo.
Dev says J-Lo. Yeah, J-Lo, she's an actress, kind of singer. Well, she's not a very good singer. I think I could be Jenny from the Block from the auto-tuning going on, but she can dance like nobody's business. And looks good for, what's she, 50 now? Is she 50? 50. She looks like $1 million for 50. Anyway, so, he reached out to A-Rod for his opinion. I feel like that's kind of like me asking, I don't know, or someone asking me my opinion on open heart surgery. I don't know. I can give you an opinion, but it's probably not going to be right. It's ironic that Donald wants to reach out to anybody for that stuff, since Donald likes to keep his own counsel anyway. But yeah, that struck me as funny. The other thing that's been funny for me, I went to the grocery store yesterday. I was at Sobeys, and there's two types of people now. I think I could see. There's the people who are absolutely petrified to be anywhere near you at the grocery store and actually run in the other direction, which at first I was like, what is happening? What is wrong with me? And then I realized they actually all think I have COVID because I'm in the grocery store. And I guess some people just assume everybody has COVID and they're super stressed out. They're walking around just scared of everything. And then these other people who act normal. They're not rubbing up against each other or anything, and you have some social distancing, but they're really friendly and are talking to each other. And that's one thing I thought that was super cool. I noticed there was much more interaction between the customers at the grocery store in the aisles. I know I talked to 6 or 7 people, and I didn't know any of them. And now I am a guy who will talk to anybody at any time. That's never been a problem for me, right, Dev? She's actually laughing. She's doing puzzles right now, and she's laughing because I never shut up for a minute. but anyway, I did find a lot of people talked a lot to each other and were super friendly at the time, which I thought was really cool because, it's nice that, even though we still have some humanity in that, and that's what to me is a little bit, concerning that people will sort of lose that human interaction because everybody's so hyped on social distancing, which they have to be. I'm not condemning for all you people that are like, yeah, we're social distancing. I'm not saying I'm not social distancing. I'm saying that, maybe there's always a concern that you're going to lose some of that humanity and that human interaction and the talking to other people and stuff like that. It's kind of a shame if you were to lose that stuff. So that is something that I thought was interesting, that some people are super positive and friendly and nice, and other people are petrified. And there was only 2 camps. There was no intermediate where people just walked by. They were running or they were super friendly. It's a little weird. I actually saw a girl with an actual gas mask on too. And I'm not talking like a little mask. She had like the full gas mask with the things coming out here and goggles, like full on goggles and rubber gloves. First off, interesting note, rubber gloves, like disc gloves, they're porous. They don't actually block things, which was sort of funny. And the gas mask and the gloves, I don't know if she thinks somebody's going to spit on her. I've read a bunch of stuff about this, but there's never been any information that says if you're not sick, put a mask on. Everybody says if you are sick, put a mask on. Like the sick, putting the mask on when you're not sick is not supposed to do. Maybe she was sick. If she was sick, then she shouldn't have been out, right? She's supposed to be in quarantine, so I don't know. Who knows? I just thought it was funny. I saw her drive out. I was like, either she's going to rob Sobeys right now with the goggles and everything on, or she's there to buy some groceries. It was a little weird. It was a strange experience. The other thing that I think is funny is people are starting to really, especially on social media, you're starting to see, because everybody's on social media all the time now, right? Because no one else has really a lot to do. People are falling into like a couple categories. There's the people that complain all day. There's a few categories. There's the ones that complain all day, ones that post funny stuff, which, we all appreciate, and funny memes, which is awesome. There's the people who give you updates on coronavirus. I am talking to you, my sister and brother, who like to give my sister specifically, she is like a coronavirus freak. She knows everything about coronavirus, and she updates us on our family group chat all the time. So I don't actually have to look up anything anymore. Sarah will find it for me, which is nice, but there's those people. So there's the people that are super stressed and complaining. There's the ones that are posting funny memes. They're the ones that are keeping you up to date on all the latest statistics. And then there's people who are complete knuckleheads. And it's funny how the complete knuckleheads, you start to see people for who maybe they really are, because some of the real nastiness comes out, and people making these posts with rants and complaints, and it's the end of the world, and cursing people out, and arguing with everybody. It's exhausting. And you know what? I've posted a couple things that I was negative in because, I'm not happy with some of the things the government's done for small business. I think it's ridiculous, but I'm not going to get into that now because I decided yesterday I'm not going to post any more of that stuff. I'll leave that stuff for Twitter because Twitter is for complaining, apparently, as far as I can tell. But if you post it on Facebook, there's always somebody that wants to debate you and tell you you're an idiot because how dare you have an opinion or whatever. And so I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't want to get into that stuff. But there are some people, it's funny that some people are super positive, and some people you wouldn't think would be positive end up being positive, and other people are not. which is, it's a shame, but you know what? It does give you the opportunity to block the people that you don't want to listen to anymore. I have blocked a few, not unfriend, block, because I never want to deal with that person again. It's a shame, but you know what? You do feel like, you get them right out. And today I went for a run. It is actually a beautiful day outside. I'm going to show you quick. There we go. The girls are outside on the trampoline, which Dev set up. It has about 6 inches of clearance. Well, that's a lie. It has about a quarter of an inch of clearance on the edge of the deck to the door. It's very impressive that she actually got it set up. She's giving me a look right now. It is impressive. She set it up. I have to say, I don't know how the hell she did it because it's so tight, but it's in there. But anyway, the girls are on the trampoline. But what I thought was interesting is I went for a run. I do like to run. I'm running a bit. And today there's a lot of people out walking, running, riding bikes with their kids. Like there's probably, I don't know, 60, 70% more than you normally would see, which means that people are bored and they're going out, which is nice because they're actually doing something. I will always advocate for more physical activities, obviously good for you. So it's nice to see people out doing that. That is nice. And and an interesting thought I just realized this morning, none of us at the end of this thing should be tired anymore. We should be pretty good because I know I'm not the best sleeper in the world and I don't sleep enough. But we all should be good pretty soon. Because once you have a couple of weeks of just sleeping, it's like one extended weekend that goes on forever. You should have lots of sleep. You should be pretty good in the sleep department. I don't know. That's my thought anyway. You getting enough sleep, Dev?
No, it's been very difficult.
Well, yeah, Mila was in a lot of times last night. 5, I think 5. Fila came in 5 times. Twice because she couldn't sleep. It's interesting with children. They're like, I can't sleep.
Let's go wake mommy up.
Let's go wake up mom and tell her I can't sleep. I remember when Ray and Journey were little, they'd be like, Dad, I can't sleep. I'm like, you can't sleep standing up. What are you here for? Anyway, it is interesting. I'm sure everybody's kids do the same thing. Mom, Dad, I can't sleep. Yeah, anyway. I'm not trying to get negative. It is kind of funny how many times she came in last night, though. She went right to Dad. Mom, Mom. All you hear is these little feet across the room. Anyway, that's March 28th. It's a Saturday, and I want to end every time with a positive thought because I think that's good. Number one, it's a beautiful day. And number two, you know what? We all have time right now to engage with, spend time with, be around our families. I know from what I've read anyway, the domestic disturbance, abuse stuff is way up because a lot of people don't like their family very much. But if you do like your family, it's an opportunity to be home with them and spend some time with them and do some stuff with them, even if you're all a little tired of being in the same space. It is nice to actually be able to, to spend some time. We've been able to have some way more movie nights, and I do like movies. So, I mean, that's, there are some positives that come of this. I think that we have to start looking at the positives rather than the negatives overall. That's sort of my 2 cents. Anyway, it is March? Is it March? It's March. March 28th. It's a Saturday. I'm out.